All right, we're in the Palm Tree Open. I'm gonna go out there and actually play a qualifying round. See what it feels like. See what it feels like to actually play a little. And so let's take care of business. So first of all, let's go do our daily thing. See if we got it. Max Club card. So before I do my Max Club card, somebody asked me a question about. I have. I only have one rare that's not maxed out, and that's my razor. Every other rare I have is maxed out. What I should have done is I never use my razor, so it doesn't matter to me. But I could have waited and did my down and oneer as my last one, and just never upgraded it. And the question was, if I upgraded, then I'll get 3 epics every day. The problem is that there's a lot of epics that I'm not dumping points into. So like I'm only putting stuff into Thor's Hammer, Apocalypse, Cataclysm, Off-Roader, and Spitfire. Those are the only epics that I'm putting stuff into. Now, there's a couple of these epics, if I get them to level 5, that changes the deal on them. And if I get my big topper up pretty close to 400, I may, like, I'll finish it off, but I'm trying to conserve my epic point, or my points to put in epics. So at some point, because I haven't been playing that much, my commons have been dropping down quite a bit because I had 3,000 of every one of them, was kind of keeping up on them, but they've dropped down. I'm going to end up with my rares, and so I have a lot of points in rares. So this gives me an opportunity to dump stuff in there. So on the days when I get 3 epics that I don't want to put my points into, I have an outlet that I can store points in. So I still have access to those points later. That's why I have it that way. You got to be choosy when you're getting to that point. So let's hole number one. What are we taking on hole number one? Let's go check out hole number one. I have nothing. Look at this. I am freaking a Ricky. So where are we at here? Kohung Resort, and we're on hole number one. All right, this hole right here. What I'm doing is I'm normally I do a max overpower hook shot here, but what I'm trying here this time is an APOC, a Kingmaker, and I'm trying to find the spot where I will come through. Now, if we got a headwind here, it's a max overpowered shot, and what I found is that I'm moving with an APOC. I'm moving farther out here, which helps me in a headwind. It makes it so that I don't have to clear this distance. I'm more out here in the fairway. And where I'm at right now is I'm orange ring off. So if I get way down in here, in this area right here, I'm my orange ring off, and I still ended up my trajectory on a grate to the right put me in the sand. And what I want is a grate to the right up here at the top. I want a grate to the right gets me just barely past or right out in front. A perfect gets me where I bounce over, and a grate to the left, I might make it or I might end up in the rough. But I'm trying to hedge my bets and trying to get through this path because it is a max overpower shot. You might be off just a little. So trying to pick that perfect trajectory. So what do I need here? I need an Apocalypse and a Kingmaker. Let's set a bag up. I'm going to set one of these Apocalypse bags up so it's got backspin stuff. But I'm going to wait until I get to that hole to figure it out. So bag number 5 is going to be for this hole. Apocalypse, and I'm taking a Kingmaker. Dun 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 dun. Let's see if we can go out there and enter the tournament. We'll enter as a rookie, because we are rookies, Ricky bastards. And I saw my buddy Kyle told me here a month or so ago when they changed that, and now you can go in there and practice. Doesn't that seem like, hey, this is where it was before? Was you could go out there and you knew what the wind was, so you could have a setup for that wind. Well, now you can practice under those conditions, so you can make a setup for that wind. And you can spend however many you want. So how do you get practice tokens? You get practice tokens by buying the monthly pass and by doing stuff. So there's a bigger investment in the game to get practice tokens. You want lots of them so that you can work those shots out. Like if you go in there into the practice round and you hit a perfect and it's still off, you've got to continue to work that until you've got that number down. There's some of the holes in this particular tournament that are very, I mean, like super replicatable. If you can find the right spot. Excellent. Excellent. I don't like that side at all. Okay, this is a very beneficial wind for us. Putting it all on. Let's make sure I got it all on. Okay, so I was 2 rings off, and I'm going to go about a third of the blue ring out into the fairway, fully extended. I'm going to take the wind out, 3/8. It's about 2.5 rings. I'm going to put the forward distance back in. Hit it 2 rings great to the left. I think that's pretty close to where I'd want to be. 1 ring great to the left, there's where it engaged right before it ended up coming up into the rough, where it lengthens out right there, right along this edge right here. If you're to the left, it's downhill faster. But if you're up there, there's a spot where you can catch it on the right and you could roll through the rough. You're more than likely going to get caught up in the rough on a great to the left. But I would rather hit a great to the left and get caught up in the rough, and hit a perfect and go right through the middle, and hit a great to the right and skirt the edge and end up here in front on the fairway, than to end up in the sand. Although I will tell you that sand shot from there is spectacular if you got a Spitfire, because you can roll that topspin out like a rapier, and you can hedge your bet on that. You're so damn close that, and the wind's really not a factor, that you can kind of hedge your bet on it, and you might be able to pick up a great to the left or the right and a perfect, but not all 3. Let's see what I can get done with this. That's not going to be so good. Alright, we're going to have to go at it with a little bit of backspin. Alright, just need to hit it perfect. And hit it to the right. I have a hard time telling the way that the bullseye is there, because there's the bullseye and then there's the second ring. And the second ring's a different size than the rest of the rings. My eye gets drawn to the inconsistency. I need to start doing it by time, where you could actually have your eyes closed and you could just get into a rhythm. That's all right. You got to spend a lot of time and be focused if you really want to do good. You gotta have some. You gotta take notes and take time to practice. And all right, that was hole number 1. That was not what we were looking for. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? Let's go check it out. Hole number 2 is Koh Hong. Hole number 6. All right. Now, I came out here the other day when I practiced, and I just hit a big topper, and I just went out max topspin. I used a Kingmaker, but you could probably use a Titan here. Kingmaker will help on the wind, especially if you're doing the rough bump. You're going to have to bring a sniper to do the rough bump, or you're going to have to bring a Guardian, and you can go up there and do a backspin shot. I'm not sure that there's any benefit to hitting way up here, other than you might be able to get into your long iron, and you still got a shot on the rough. But you'd have to bring a long iron that has lots of topspin. I actually might try to get out there and see what that looks like. I'm sure if you brought out a 4 power ball, because with a 3 power ball, I'm not even sure with tailwind if you could make it over. You probably have to have a 4 or a 5 power ball in order to get to the other side, and then it's not too bad if your trajectory is even close. Because even if you failed down here, I think you could recover. You could start off down low and bring it around, or there's ways to recover. I'm gonna try going way down there. Let's see if it doesn't work out with a 4 power ball, then I won't do it. But I'm gonna take this bag right here. I'm trying to get out there as far as I can if I'm trying to get to the other side. Although my number 1 bag, let's see, which nets me more yardage. It's 20 more topspin versus that, so it's my extra mile. But the deal is that I got to make it over to the other side, so the raw power might be more important. So I'm going to start off with bag number 5. Let's start off with a 4 power ball. We'll take a firework. Here we roll. We'll see what we can get done on hole number 2. All right, here we roll. Did you get 1 and 2 as a bonus? It really kind of screws me up when I shoot when I shoot a round where it's a solid round and do the deal, as opposed to breaking it up, because on future tournaments it's easier, like setting up a playlist or like looking at different ways. I try and play these holes in different, like, your clubs change and you'll start playing them in different ways, but shit, man, I can't quite make it. I have to put a lot of curl on it in order to get it to come over to that side. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't have to put too much curl. Two, 4. It's in this direction. Getting it perfect. Let's see if I can end up in the fairway up there. Didn't really get any farther than I normally would have got against that headwind. That headwind was huge, because I think that Apocalypse is like 1.5 per ring. So I had a good solid 2 rings in max overpower where I was in to the other fairway. And I moved it over a little bit to the right by adjusting the wind out to keep me in the lower, the fatter part. I was trying to be down there towards the bottom where I had as much distance as possible. So a headwind here really lays you down. You'd have to come at it with a power 5 ball if you wanted to get over there. Let's hit over there. And we know what this shot's going to look like, right? You can't recover from this side. If I remember correctly, it rolls out a little. 3-1. There's 3, 1. Hitting it perfect. We'll see what kind of roll that gets to the cup. Seems like it rolls out a little, and it didn't. So you want to put your ball guide pretty close. I left it a little back because it felt like it was going to roll out. I've taken that shot from over here quite a few times, but it's been a while. Those are the fine-tuned little things that you forget if you quit playing for a while. And that's that age-old saying, I forgot more about the game than most people know. And that's not true in my case, because there's a ton of shit about this game that it's like going out and playing it. There's a bunch of math that's involved. I was just happy when the win ring method came out, pretty close to when the game first came out, and I was super happy to find a method that at least allowed some scientific repeatability versus eyeballing it. All right. No Albie for me. That is a hole that's albiable, though. There is a good shot there if we can, I can get to the right spot. So clip in the rough right there put me quite a bit shorter than where I got with my big topper yesterday, because with my big topper I was able to do a nice sniper shot going in practice. All right, that was hole number 2. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? Oasis. All right, this is a par 3 at the Oasis. And it is hole number 3. All right, we're doing that rough bump. And it seemed to me that yesterday a 10% wasn't quite enough against a headwind. I'm still working this hole, so it could go really bad. And any bag will work. Let's go see what the wind is. Let's go practice. Hey, we can spend a practice token. We can practice it under the conditions. Make sure we got the right stuff. Is that the deal? Is that how we should be playing it now? Playdemics never offered me any like, hey, you can buy 100 practice tokens for $4.99 and 5,000 gems. They never offered me that. Damn it. Well, when Golf Clash first started, there's a thing that you can search Google for it. It's the profitability of Golf Clash. And it talks about Golf Clash when it first started and what its profit things were and what the goal was for how it was doing it, so you can understand the economics of the game. The flagpole used to sit, it might sit right where it was, but this green has been changed, and I like this configuration of the green a lot better than the original. Because the original, you could be really close to the hole, and it was hard. It was a tough putt. So it's really nice and flat around the green. It used to be a cliff on the other side, on the back side from where we were right there. I'm going to take a Quasar. Two 6, 10% to be 2.8. There's 3. That's a 20% pull. Hitting it perfect. And that was way off. I don't like I'm not going to follow that. There might be a funnel right there, but I'm going to get closer. I'm going to move the ball to the left so that where I come out of the rough, I'll have to bring it back around to the right. I can straighten that out and take that hill out of play instead of playing with that hill. Let me play this hole. I'll practice it one more time. And then we'll go play it. it's kicking in Golf Clash is loving the fact that we have a lot of matches now, especially with these practice rounds and stuff. The way that the matching works is it's a draw and there's no shootout, so nobody gets anything. So nobody gets a chest. So it slows down the rate of getting club cards, and it makes it more where you're more dependent on them. Play hole 3. I'm going to practice that one more time. I'm going to go more to the left and see if I can straighten that out so I don't involve that hill. I know that you can. If I can get an opponent. If. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You better grab something to eat and drink. Wow. Brad E. from the U.S. Patriots heard me calling. Thank you, dude. Brad E. goes first. A grizzly and a katana. And people are nonchalant about their setups. They hit perfect and they get the awesome result. No, I don't know if that's awesome, but that's a great result. You can see where this little hill is going up to the green. That was super steep before. How close can I get it? I'm going to up it to a katana so that I have more side spin. Three, 6, 10% would be 3. That'd be 3, 9. That'd be 4, 2. And there's 4, 2. Oh, big one ring great to the left. If I was going to hit it one way or the other, ooh, great to the left actually was the side to hit it to, but not quite enough. I think a perfect would have popped right out. So I'm going to have to change that on my notes to a katana. Because that side spin definitely helped. Let's cheat our opponent out of a chest, maybe. Okay, it's so close. But if I can just hit it. Perfect or great to the right, it'll go in. That was 2 rings great to the right. Just missed it. All right, here we go. Hey, good job. Good game. Let's play that one. I'm just gonna play it now. I'm ready. %. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my calculator. Why not? Why not? I don't even know where the hell I'm at in my club. I'm just gonna do the 1 and work my number from there. There's max. There's min. I'm at mid club. With my grizzly, that's 1 per ring. Four, 4. It's 5, 2. It's about 5, 2. Oh, 1 ring great to the right. Just a little short, but there's no guarantee that if I'd hit it perfect, it could have went in the hole. So let me make some notes here. First of all, use a calculator instead of doing it in your head. So I'm going to play my Grizzly, and I'm going to play it at playing with a katana at mid club. 1.1 per ring. And I was playing a 20% adjustment. All right, so we got some notes on that hole. We at least got some place to start. The whole thing for me is it used to be like I'd just like play just like this and just figure it out as the week went on. And then when the weekend round came, like I hope that I hit the weekend round. Like sometimes I needed like one more round. I learned in the weekend round what I needed to have in the weekend round. But it didn't do me any good. And sometimes I got it right, and then when the weekend round came along, that was when I peaked. But now the way that the tournaments work, you really have to put out a pretty good score in every round. You can't work yourself up. Everybody's worked up. There's too many different ways to practice the hole and get the hole down. Get the shit done, just like there was before. Only now they've monetized all that. I mean, I'm not bitching about it. That's a fact. I mean, that's just how it works. I do know if I'm going to start playing again, I'm going to have to buy some balls. I'm going to have to buy a couple Power 5 packs or like a $20 pack, or buy something just so I have some. I was talking to my teammate Kyle about buying packs, and really the way to buy packs is if you're committed to buying packs and you need balls, you need to pick a Power 5 ball, you need to pick a Power 4, Power 3, and some of the low end balls. Like pick one in each category that's like, hey, like sometimes this wouldn't be the perfect ball, but it would work. There's a bunch of times it would be the perfect ball, and sometimes it's a little, but like this ball is the all-round. It's like the Berserker. I mean, the Berserker's not the best Power 5 ball in every situation, but in a lot of situations it works. Hole number 4. And buy like a $100 pack of those 4 or 5 balls, so that like in most situations you could use that ball and you have a shitload of them. Okay, I'm just going to play this hole. And it's going to be my number 1 bag with a Kingmaker. And this is definitely a plus 10% on the drive. Let's see here. Where is my calculator? 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by 2.1. I go first. Okay, I'm taking the number 1 bag. I'm switching to a Kingmaker. And I'm doing max and 3.5 backspin. My stuff pointing in the sand. It's 2.2, so it's about a ring. And a little. I'm going to put a little bit of curl on it to bring it back over to the rough. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. Hit. Roll down. I'd rather have made it to the rough. But at least I'm below the hole. And that was actually absolutely where I wanted it. So like the deal is that great to the right puts me down below the hole. A perfect, I clip the rough. And a great to the left gives me the same effect as the great to the right. And maybe I won't roll off into that sand. I'm trying to put myself in the spot where I've got the best of all 3 worlds. Where I still at least give myself a chance for a putt or a short chip off the green. And if I'm in the sand down there, that's not optimal, but that's not a bad shot. It's better to be below the hole, shooting up to it, If you end up in the sand up at the top and you're trying to get into the hole, it's a difficult shot. It's a difficult shot to get set up and actually follow the hill, because I know in a lot of cases down there you're so close that the wind's not what's affecting the ball. The actual green is affecting the ball, and it has a drop to it. Fantastic. Nice. And you'll see on my opponent's shot, they're up above. You'll see the deal. Uh-oh, I missed it. And that's a hole you have to eagle. Oh my gosh, that's the first putt I've missed in this round. For those of you that have listened to my channel for a long time, I'm not the best putter in the world. I take it for granted. You can see with my opponents, it's going to, like where it's at, they're actually not in too bad a spot right there. I think that'll go in. Yes, indeedy. Nice. That's definitely a hole that we will be able to eagle as the tournament goes on. Getting on one is the deal. That was totally me screwing up on the putt. That's all on me, man. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? Hole number 5 is a par 3. Let's just go play it. Which one is it? It's downhill. What ball am I bringing? A Navigator. Is it a Sniper Nav or I think it might be a Grizzly Nav. I go first. Times 3.6 equals. I'm in my Sniper. I'm right at min Sniper. Minimum Snipers 1.3 per ring, I think. Oh shit. I'm gonna run out of time. .6. That's divided by 1.3. 3.6 rings. 3.6. Isn't it perfect? I can't believe I got that shot off in time. Okay, so I didn't pull it enough there, and I used the min club at 1.3. Let's find my notes here. It is 1.3 at minimum club. Now that I'm looking at my cheat sheet, and I underpulled it. So it seems like a one-on-one I come down here. I don't dick around with like where I'm at as far as like min max. I'm always at max. So this might be one of those things where you're way the hell downhill. So instead of doing minimum club at 60%, you're just doing max at 30. So I'm going to make a note here. I'm going to try that out. 1 per ring. Plus 30%. Make it easy to do the adjustment. Very nice. In the hole. I think I'm just shooting a minimum score round since I dropped the eagle on the one, missed the putt. Some tournament, I can't remember what tournament it was, but I missed 2 putts during the tournament and was so pissed off. And I ended up shooting like a 30 and ended up winning. I was pissed and like just got on a roll. Like every other hole I was on a roll, but the par 3s were killing me. All right, what hole? Let me look at this hole one more time. Let me look at that hole. Ah, this is the hole right here. I need to set up a bag for this hole. Let's go look at this hole. This is hole number, I think it's hole number 6. That's hole number 9 at Santa Ventura. Is that right? Yes. All right. So my goal here, like the ultimate goal on this hole is there is a spot. Okay, hear me out because this is going to sound crazy as hell. There is a spot out here where you can get in between these trees, and if you got a Grim Reaper, especially if you got an upper developed Grim Reaper, you've got a long iron that has 100% backspin, and a Saturn's 92 is not quite enough. You can do a dunk here, and if you miss the dunk, you can stick on the green. The only fear is that if you hit the flagpole, you could take an irregular bounce and be in some serious trouble. But that is probably your best, like if you're in the right spot over and over, that's probably your best shot at Albie. The shot from over here coming up, you have a shot at Albie, but every time I've taken it, I have to involve curl. And so I've made Albie from this side, but it involves curl. Or you're laying it up here and you're trying to get all the way up and just get your eagle and move on. But there is an Albie shot here if you can get over to the other side. So I'm trying to get over to the other side. If the wind is blowing like this or anything in a forward direction along that plane, you can bring out a power 3 ball and you can dig. There's this terrain right here. You're just trying to dig further down into this. And so the bigger ball that you bring, the farther you can get down in it. The deal is the farther you get down in it, the more curl you're going to need to bring you back to the fairway on the other side. Otherwise, you'll end up in the rough out here, which isn't a bad shot. You can easily get up if you got a Nirvana. I'm not sure about the other clubs, but with the Nirvana, you can recover from there. So if the bigger the ball you bring out with tailwind, you're going to need to use an Apocalypse. I'm gonna start off with an Apocalypse. I want to set up a bag for this. I'm gonna set up this bag right here. So Apocalypse, and if I get up into the area that I want to get up to, I want all of my backspin clubs. I want a Grim Reaper, which is at 81%, so it's 1.2 per ring. If I'm down into this range, it's not really going to matter, but I really don't like a thorn, but I'm not going to be up that close. Everything else will work. Everything else looks awesome. And for ball, I'm going to start off with a Titan, but I can switch to a power 4 ball. It really just depends on the wind. Let's think here. What are these open balls? They're 4 side spin, and it's kind of a waste to use them, but I got a bunch of them. And they are 4 power and 2 wind resistant. Let's try an open ball. I don't want to practice it. Let's just go play it. If I can get an opponent. This matching thing is discouraging. I'm assuming they're trying to match you up by tiers, and it really, I don't know. I never really cared if you were playing against people that had better stuff than you. When I first started playing, everybody had better stuff than me. There wasn't that many people playing, but everybody had better stuff than me. Oh, we got a great win today. I might not actually need a power 4 ball. Might be able to play this one with the power 2. Or excuse me, a power 3. Just trying to think, that ball is 4 side spin. And the Titans 2. Kingmaker's 3, but the Kingmaker's cutting the wind down and it's not helping me as much. Zerk. See if they get their bounces right. There's bounce number 1 in the rough. See if we can get a better result. See if we can get to the right spot. Man, we're using all of it. Right there, I can pick up the most forward moving distance down into that pocket. And that was ring and a half, 2 rings to the left. Brought it around too far. But if I would have changed out my Spitfire for my Castaway or one of my sand wedges that had, am I in the sand or am I in the rough? And I didn't switch out to my machete either. I didn't think I would get up. I would either be in the clear or I wouldn't get up to that spot. I could actually do the rough. I could do the dunk. But I don't think I have the... I definitely don't with my Spitfire. This might be a tough shot if I'm in my Spitfire. But that is the right spot. If I was just a little bit in front of it, we could have a great dunk. Let's see what I'm in. Nirvana. Yeah, if I brought my Houdini right now, I'd be able to do the... $2.9. I'd rather hit it great to the left and the right. There is a dunk there, though. Should have brought a machete. What was I thinking? I was thinking I wasn't going to get into that spot. I was either going to be in the clear or I was going to be caught in the rough early, which is where I normally get caught if you get caught in the rough. And you have a very similar shot to what my opponent had. I'm doing an open ball. Let me change my notes here. Open ball. Open ball. Two rings. 2 rings off. All right, it's a draw. Made some notes, got some good stuff. I don't know if minimum score, I think minimum score should be 12, and I don't think it might not make it. You might have to pick up one. Grizzly 1 Powerball plus 10%. Let's see if my notes are right. See if my notes are good. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take a break. I got to go talk to a man about a horse. I'll be right back. All right, where were we? Hole number 6. Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Let's look at hole number 7. It's this par 3. All right, let's play it. Let's play. Let's see if we can get an opponent. That would be helpful. Using a 1 Powerball. And I'm going to start off with just one per ring. Doing 10%. I'm not sure against this wind that it shouldn't be just a little bit more. Maybe my opponent will go. There is no way I could waste that much time. I am right down to the nitty gritty. Part of it's talking and part of it's just setting the shot up. I'm not gonna worry about where I'm at in my club. I'm gonna work my adjustments from one per ring. It's easy to do the one per ring stuff, and if I need to do whatever adjustment, if it needs to be a 30 or a 15 or a 12.5 or whatever it needs to be, I want to be further back than that. I want to let it release and roll up to the cup. Isn't it perfect? Hopefully that goes in the hole. It's gonna be close. Close. Okay, let's do the wind first. Doing the wind first. Times 2.4. Let's switch bags. Any bag will work. Let me back here off my white ring. I can use a navigator. It's 2.74. There's 1, 2, 5, 7, 5. Let's hit it perfect. Get in the cup. Get in the hole. That's going to be close. No cigar. That was a 15% adjustment. And no dice. Not picking up any of the par threes. The par threes for me, the par fours, in my opinion, are how you make these tournaments, and the par threes and those albies are what win you tournaments. But the par fours are what gets you up to the deal. Yeah, we're trying to reconnect you. That's not good. I'm afraid to let go of the screen. What the hell just happened? Wow. Something weird just happened right there. And it takes a 12 to get in. That means I have to pick something up in the last, or I'll have to play tomorrow because of that drop. What the hell happened right there? I did drop an eagle earlier, but just playing a nice minimum score round. I have no idea what happened there. It was a glitch. We'll pick one of these last two holes up. Let's do that. All right, I'm playing to that center island. And so what was I using to get out there? Hole number 8. Rock Sniper. Seems like I was using, I may use my number 2 bag. Maybe my number 1, but I'm trying to get out to that center island. I think you can get out there with a Titan. And I had Titan and I crossed it out. Might be better with a Kingmaker. Couldn't be worse. So I'm going to bring a Kingmaker just like my opponent. But instead of trying to do what my opponent's doing, and I think there's so much inconsistency landing on this other fairway with that ridge, the way it goes down it, it's easy to end up off of the fairway. That it's easy to get onto the island, and there is a a rough bump on the island that you don't have with the far away shot. And more often than not, pretty much every time I've tried to get over, I think there's a few times that I've actually been in the fairway, but most of the time when I try and get to the other side, it is not good. Kingmaker. I'm just trying to get to right up here at the front. 2.8. It's 2.8. Just trying to hit it nice and smooth. I'm going to lean a little to the left. One ring great to the right. Let's see what that looks like from up there. I think there's a rough bump right here that we don't have access to if we hit to the other side. If you hit to the far left, which is in the past where I've normally hit. And I think most people hit to the left. It's a slim little rough bump, but there is a rough bump right there. There's also a backspin shot right there too. There's still a couple holes that there is a backspin shot. That par 5 that we have here where you can try and do a backspin dunk. Hey, where am I at? And there's max. There's min. There's mids. I'm in that 1.1 per range. 1. .5. Okay, there's 3.5. I'm going to go just a little bit farther. And I really need to hit this perfect or great to the left. And I hit it great to the left, but too many rings great to the left. You gotta hit that perfect or like right there. The way that the wind's blowing, it's blowing you off. If you over pull it and hit that direction. Yeah, I've already dropped this round because of the last hole. It fell apart at the end. I've had golf rounds where it's like this, where I started off and I was kicking ass, taking names, and then as the round went on, I got tired. I was out of shape. It's almost the same thing here. Now we just need to hit this perfect. That was not perfect. That was not the eagle I was looking for. That's 2 pars in a row. All right, hole number 9. What is hole number 9? I played this hole 3 different ways in the practice round. I did the max overpower hook to show you, like, so you could start trajectory. With that particular ball combo, I needed to come in to the right. I started off where my ball guy was right in line with the farthest out that the fairway goes, and I actually needed to go in, so like up at the top of a max overpower, I was on the fairway. and do my max overpower from there. But typically what that'll net you is just getting out into the rough. But you're way out into the rough, so you have a really nice rough bump with your rough iron. And it's actually not that bad a shot. And one-on-one, that's typically how I play it, because you get a pretty nice shot with your rough iron, and that is a shot that you can make. Which way's the wind blowing? I'm going to be like 3.5 rings out. I'm going to put on just a little bit of backspin. 3-1. I've been putting on a little topspin, and I've been going too far. I want to see how much a little bit of backspin slows me down, like how far back that puts me. I might want to be maybe 1.5 backspin, 1.5 backspin. Because that's about as far out there. If I was a little bit more to the left, the fairway was a little bit deeper. So I started like 3.5 rings off, so I could start off 4 rings, and that would put me so that I'm in a deeper part of the fairway. And try 1.5 and see where that puts me. I'm going to put the 4 rings off. 4 rings off. 1.5 backspin. I think the deal is that I need to take this with a katana, and I just brought a freaking Kingmaker, right? I did. I'm going to be in between clubs. I screwed up again. I brought the wrong ball. Let's see if I have enough topspin to get on from over here. $3-8. I'm at max club. There's 3, 5, 7, 5, 8. And I'm going to do about a 10% overpull. Hitting it perfect. We'll see how close we can get from there. Way short. Way short. Had a good run at it, though. It is nice to know that if you get caught in between clubs, there is a shot that you can do over there. You can still do a rough bump. But the way the wind was blowing, that was a pretty safe rough bump. Eagle. All right, so that was I guess this was another practice round. I did get some good notes from this round, though. Eagle. All right, 2 pars, dropped, eagle, an eagle. One of the pars wasn't my fault, and the other one was. All right, so I guess Wednesday is the round to try and get in. There you go. Good or bad, that's what no practice, just going out there and playing, gets you. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching. Palm Tree Open. What was today? Tuesday's qualifying round.